Give it a minute. Welcome aboard. Give it a minute here. We're waiting as folks show up and start clicking in. I'm Sean. If you don't know, I'm Sean Bougie. This is Jeff Olivia.
Hey.
We're a little salty this evening. Oh, Monster drink. I hear about it whenever I have anything like that. All right, so we're going to be talking about the National Surplus Funds, primarily the National Surplus Funds, as well as the FlipPro program. Any and all questions you guys have, pre-purchase questions, throw them out at us. For those of you guys who came in last night and we had an issue with the way we had it written up, I've already received your emails this morning, and I'll be getting that out either tonight or tomorrow morning. The other button that we talked about last night. We should be recording this one.
Yep.
No guarantees. But we'll have to see how that goes. Any questions at all, guys? This is free game, so we'd love to start hearing from you. Can anybody at least tell us? Can you hear us okay out there? Or you see us?
Thanks, Dave.
Awesome.
All right, you want to do a little intro?
Yeah, guys, I'm guessing. Oh, good. Thank you, Linda. Some of you guys want an overview of the FlipPro. A lot of you guys probably want an overview of the FlipPro system. This is a no money down system. You guys are actually working it yourselves because you don't need us. It gives you the tools to identify property that is going for sale, that is distressed, and then taking that property and either working with an investor throughout the whole process, fix and flip, or just straight wholesaling it. And I introduced the wholesaling aspect at the last minute because I had a lot of people saying they wanted something that would pay a lot quicker. Flipping property using the wholesaling method, I mean, we're talking about a couple of weeks, guys, starting to see money come in. If you do it right, if you package it like we tell you how to package it, you actually do the homework, you're going to be able to sell them left and right. The problem right now in the wholesaling industry in general is that people don't package it well. You know, everyone is online. Everyone thinks they're a guru. Everyone thinks that they know what a house should go for. You know, I mean, those days are over, guys. I mean, when I first started in real estate and I was listing property, I literally had heard from a seller that I spoke with that said literally the guy came in, they said, how much is it worth? He did not have a CMA, went over to a wall and went, yeah, this baby's worth about $125,000. That's the kind of crap that's going on in the wholesale industry, and that's what your competition is. So there's really no competition, guys. If you've got any further questions, fire away. I'm going to give you guys some insight into the type of distressed property I'm talking about. Not only, yes, we cover tax sale, excuse me, more for a fix and flip. I understand that seems like it's I don't know, that it's an overlap from other systems, but it's not, because this is fix or flip or wholesale. It's a different animal. So we do cover the tax sales, upcoming mortgage foreclosure sales, obviously. County held property, stuff that did not sell. Also ways to get a hold of, look at what the banks have listed. A lot of times they'll list the foreclosures on their own. Bank of America has their own pre-foreclosure site.
Right.
Wells Fargo, same thing. How to get a hold of those. How to work with the counties. Also, occasionally you can go after condemnations, which people think they're going to lose the property altogether. They don't realize they're getting paid, or that it's a lien going against the property. Eminent domain cases, a little more tricky. I barely touch on it in the ebook, but that's a little more tricky. It's a way to get basically get in line for that money instead of the ex-owner. A lot of different techniques, guys, for finding property. How to use the MLS to do that. How to use FSBO sites online for sale by owner sites. The opportunities are endless for finding this. On top of that, it's finding investors to work with you or to wholesale to. And we go through, I mean, I have documentation on everything. This is the most in-depth program I've ever done. I mean, I'm going to be amazed if we get questions. Now, I'm going to warn you. Once you get this down, because I put it into modules, it's going to be a little easier to follow because I've broken it down more. So that's good. But once you get it, it's going to take you an extra day to go through this, you know, nice and carefully and get started, just because there's so much information on it. So that's my main warning. Any questions at all, guys? Fire away. Linda, good to see you. David, thanks for telling us we were good to go. Let us know where we're at. we're hoping to get through it fairly quickly. I know that a lot of you guys are on the sidelines. You're on the fence. You're not sure exactly what you want to do with this. I know I got a lot of questions, and we actually got a lot of buys because we put the national back on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting a lot of questions off of that, and I answered those today. But the national is something you can do completely from home. And
Surplus funds.
It's surplus funds, yeah, in different states. We've been really successful with that. We have deals under contract in Colorado, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, all over the planet right now. Tennessee, Georgia. They're coming in left and right, and we've been very successful with that. We've been really pleased with that. David had a question last night, doesn't recall it. All right, one of the things I get on the national program is a lot of people ask if they could. I hesitate to ask this, but my husband has asked me to ask. That's usually not a good sign. About what time Monday do you expect the ebook to be out? Linda, it's not gonna be out. It's going up in price tonight. Another $50.
No. When will it be emailed?
Oh, I'm sorry, by 5.
Yeah.
I can't get any more particular than that.
Yeah, it'll probably be somewhere between noon and 5, Sean, I think.
Yeah. Closer to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm just giving myself extra time because I'm still tweaking the snot out of this thing. No problem, Linda. How dumpster dive is dumpster? This is David Stowe. Sorry, David. I'm not supposed to use last name. All right. How dumpster dive is dumpster? I think about 30% of the average sale is probably a really good thumbnail for that. So if it's a $150,000 sale is the average in your market.
Yeah, it really depends on your market. That's true. Yeah.
You know,
we talked about yesterday about if you're in LA or certain markets like California or New York or Jersey even. In parts of Jersey, I mean, dumpster dive there is $250.
Exactly, that's low rent.
So it really depends on the area. I mean, I would say, what do you think, Charlotte? We would be in the 60.
I think you're dead on. I think the average sale is around 200.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, so probably looking at
30%.
67. Yeah, so I think you're right about that. Some markets, their average sale is 500,000, so you're obviously not finding anything for $80,000.
David, what market are you in, if you don't mind me asking? It's not like other people are going to be able to use this as a honey hole because he's coming back and telling me what his averages are. That's a fairly low average, although I got to tell you.
Average market is 60. Really?
Huh.
Okay. Well,
all right.
You could really dumpster dive.
Yeah, no joke. David,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if you couldn't pick up property that you could literally pick it up, pay off the taxes, give something to the owner, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
You make your money on the buy. I keep saying that. Give them something on the buy, pay off the existing taxes, which I don't know how the taxes are in that area. Pay off the existing taxes on that and still do well if you sell it for 15, 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're in a market that's your average is say 100 and $1 million houses, I mean, good lord, that you're right. Those are a tougher sell. You know, like $1 million is kind of relative if you can sell it or not.
I don't know how large landmass wise your counties are, guys. I tend to talk in counties, not cities. You know, I mean, you really don't want to be locked into, oh, I want to work just an area. You know what I mean? For instance, Jeff will tell you we did a lot of work in real estate, not only as agents, but in investment stuff. Located, the office was in Mecklenburg County, but it meant nothing to go all the way up to Catawba, Iredale.
Oh yeah, I mean, hit like 5 or 6 or 7 counties.
Everything around you, guys.
Yeah, even in other states.
Yeah. Rowan County. We were over the line.
We were in South Carolina. I mean, because where Charlotte situates is we basically border South Carolina.
Yeah.
So if you go south of Mecklenburg County is South Carolina. So we were able to hit multiple states.
Yeah. And David, I would tell you, because you came back and said I was looking at 3 to 5 counties surrounding. That's really, you're in an interesting area there if you're that low for 5 counties on average. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. You might want to, if you haven't already, you might want to consider the national if you're concerned about being able to make money.
3 to 5 counties should be good.
I'm just wondering but at the average you were saying. Average home price. Ah,
that's Yvette.
there we go.
Yvette, average home price 200 to 300K.
Oh, perfect.
That's good. Yeah, you should be able to pick up stuff probably in the 60, 70 range.
Easy.
80s, yeah.
Easy.
Uh-huh.
I see a lot of junk around that hasn't sold forever, David. Yeah, one of the things that we put together, you know, I'm glad you said that. One of the things we put together is we have a formula for predicting time on the market. And if you're not coming in well on that, you don't pick up the property. In other words, what you do is you take the last 12 months of sale. And I've said this before. You take the last 12 months of sales, similar properties, similar being size, type, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, da, 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 okay? How many sold in the last year? 24? Okay, how many are on the market now? Well, if there's 12 on the market now, you've got the equivalent of what? 6 months worth of inventory that you're competing with. Do you want to shorten that by 2 months? Well, then I recommend you go under the price 2.5% for each month you want to shorten it out by. It's really a fairly easy way to look at it. On the other hand, if 24 sold last year, you have 48 just like yours on the market right now, you don't want to buy it. You got 2 years worth of inventory on the market. Hope that helps. In fact, that's a sweet little price range, by the way, 2 to 3. What's the
Yasmin, for your fix and flip course, where is the best place you recommend I find properties at a deep discount?
Understand, Yasmin, you're not going to be, I know I'm splitting hairs. You're not going to be finding properties at a discount. You're going to be finding properties that are about to be lost by the owner,
right,
who's going to take pretty much what you give to them.
Right. Yeah.
What you offer, okay? So you're looking at people that are about to lose it to tax or mortgage. You're looking at people that are about to lose it to condemnation. You're looking at people where maybe the county already took it. We can talk about that too. You're looking at pre-foreclosure properties, estate issues where there's a probate involved, where the family they can't come together on what to do with it in time to sell it in time. But pre-foreclosure, this is before foreclosure. It's easier for me, Yasmin, to answer the question as to where do you not go, and you don't go to auctions. You're never going to find a deal at an auction today. It's
probably not.
Probably not.
There's some areas though.
Yeah, Jeff disagrees with me for a reason. We've seen them.
I've seen them.
We've seen deals where people overlook them. One of the other things I'm touching on in there, and I forgot to mention this earlier, guys, homeowners association foreclosures are a big deal. One of the things I put together was a mailing you can get a hold of the larger either condo or homeowner association communities. Here's why. Those guys in most states are not legally bound to notify any other holder of debt that they're going to foreclose. I don't know if you guys realize that. So they're not really bound to do that. They can just go ahead and notice the owner and go, just foreclose against it. The owners a lot of times don't believe it's actually going to happen. The other issue that you get with that is these homeowner associations and these condo associations, they like to bluff. Okay, they like to bluff, say they're going to foreclose, and then back off. It ends up killing them because the people they understand what's going on after over time. But they would be happy to sell that to you, to sell that the debt to you. There's a bunch of different ways to go after that. Do you flip land? Yeah. If so, are pollution issues a problem in that you'd have to pay for an environmental cleanup?
Depends what kind of land we're talking here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
well,
I guess you talk about large acreages of land. Obviously, wouldn't buy a 1 acre lot if it was a.
Yeah, if you've got a super fun cleanup site.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Now, I'm talking about large pieces of land.
Well, you know what? We almost bought, and by the way, you guys said commercial property before, and we said, don't do it. I don't mind the mom and pop standalone buildings. I'm talking about where if it's in a unit where it's one unit of many business units where it's a $700 a month net for HOA dues, I'd avoid that. Or if it was a really large building that would be difficult for you to resell. We almost bought a mom and pop car shop.
Yeah.
I asked the lady before I was going to make my offer because it was a great location. It was a great price. I kept asking her, when's the last time you had an environmental study on the place? And it's not that she wouldn't answer, it's that she skirted it every single time. And when you get into that, we're talking about battery cores, lead. That's a nightmare. So certain things I'm very careful of. I got to be honest with you, though, guys. You know, when you start talking about this type of a potential issue, if you're talking about a 1-acre building lot sitting somewhere, it just doesn't enter my mind.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, unless you're next door to a dry cleaner, I don't see the point of the environmental becoming an issue.
No. I mean, anytime you're dealing with I just had an auto place or,
Well, you know, we almost bought that other one because it was right next to the dump.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's just the 100 acres?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason she had gotten a reduced tax rate is she had somebody go in and check it and say that the water table was polluted.
Yeah.
We see that where people do that as lying.
Yeah.
This was such a beautiful, nice piece of property.
What about I got a shot.
That's I know. I didn't want. That's right. We didn't want to flip it. We wanted to buy and hold it. Well, you were excited about it too.
I was very excited about it. Yeah.
But it was like 20 grand in taxes that had to be paid to catch it up. So it was a big deal.
It's close to us too.
It was real close.
Yeah.
We didn't pop on it, but that would have been one that I worried if I was going to resell. You know what? I wouldn't have actually. Somebody would have bought that.
So you don't recommend going to auctions at all and looking for properties, huh?
Well, let's put it in the larger markets. You're always going to have a bunch of hardcore money guys that are there beating you to the punch.
Sure.
The smaller counties, we've seen it where nobody showed up.
Yeah, there's some smaller counties where people don't. So you could get properties. Again, you're not going to get the margins that you want. You might be able to get, say, a $40,000 property for like $32,000.
Right.
Not enough for you to.
Enough to buy and hold.
If you wanted to buy, hold, and rent, I think that's a good option.
It is a good option.
But you're right. As far as what you're looking for a quick flip, it's you're not going to find them there.
Yeah, and that was a perfect example. 32 out of 40. You got to understand at 40, you know, agents are going to have a minimum commission. Okay, and at 40 grand, that's probably going to be $2,000. Okay, or more. So you know, you're talking about if you've got an $8,000 margin there, and you're going to pay the realtor too. Now we're really, you follow me? Right. You're losing it.
Yvette, so this system will work in my local market in Oregon.
Yes, and guys, here's the thing. We brought this up last night. People are like, I'm worried because it's such a hot market. It's going to be so hard to find these. There's not going to be any distressed property. You're right. There's going to be a whole lot less to go after, okay? The margins are going to be stupid good. That's why we really are pushing to get more and more of this stuff in North Carolina because the margins here are outrageous. You guys, when you get that, I mean, we might, you know, instead of doing, if you were in a mediocre market and you were working it pretty hard, instead of doing 4 months, talking about 1 every 2 months. But if you're making 30 grand a pop, who cares?
Right. Yeah. You got to look for the right deals. Don't just work to work. You know, don't be.
That's a really good way to put it.
Don't put sketchy deals together. You know, take your time. Find them. We pass on daily on deals.
We do.
Daily, and just because it's, you know, hey,
you got a bad gut.
You know, because we've lost money. So
yes, we have.
So you kind of learn from that a little bit, so you know what to stay away from, and if it's, you know, dealing with sketchy owners sometimes, and they're not.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
If they're lying with you, you know, to you, what else are they lying about?
Exactly.
I mean, that's where we get the biggest issues, when owners start lying about things and pay off, and no, I don't have any other debt. We're staring at a deed
Oh,
trust.
I know. Yeah. That's big. Yeah, lying about.
Forget it.
Debt.
You know, we're done with that guy.
Yeah. Airship situations, how to deal with that. I mean, that's another one too.
Yeah, and I covered a little bit in that you can work with administrators or executors or executrixes or whatever, personal representatives, whatever it's called in that state. Okay, you can work with those people, but you got to know that they're that person, because everyone's going to say, "I'm in charge of that. I'm handling the family business," and there's no probate open.
Yeah, that's. Listen, you're right. When you have a probate and a will, it's all spelled out. When there's no will, hasn't been a probate, they died. A lot of times we get them. The main owner died like 20 years ago, Sean, right? And there's like no deed transfer, so it's kind of weird.
That's right.
They're just keeping up the taxes, and as long as you keep up the taxes, the county doesn't care.
They don't care. They're not going to double check the guy's alive.
They don't care. You can even go and change your name on the tax roll.
You know, and guys, it doesn't work like you think. You know, the county doesn't automatically know that the guy that owned the property, but he was one county over. They don't know he's dead. Yeah. They don't know.
I think they would care if
they don't. You're right, though. They don't care. They're getting paid.
As long as he's paid up, you know.
You know, there's some interesting things with that. See, and one day we'll probably go have a buy and hold, more of a buy and hold. Right now, most people want to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, and they want to turn it over. But you know, there are such things as adverse possession and that type of thing. But it's not in the book because that's buy and hold for 3 years, and the whole time you're doing this. Please, please, you know, don't let the owner show up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that works. Purchased the program in San Diego County, been in real estate for 10 plus years. Average median is now 525.
Hold on, let's go down.
Do you have average pre-foreclosure volume in county of 650 to 800 distressed properties? Wow. Are you interested in this market? Better Riverside County area. James, we're not going to partner with you on these because you don't need to partner with us. You're literally going to be able to sell these a lot faster to investors. Because if you send this into us, we're going to re-underwrite it, re-double check everything, line up our by the time we got ready and bought it, you could have bought it and actually gone into your next deal. We're not partnering up with the FlipPro. We don't need to. I mean, you can sell it so easy, it's ridiculous. But with that kind of volume, you can't help but do well.
Yeah, yeah. California do really well.
California is amazing. It's a roller coaster, but it's amazing. Let's see what else.
Say that thing right now. We're caught up.
Okay, I'm going to touch on the probate on one other thing too, guys. You know, they'll say all the time you can actually get partial buys. People don't understand that. We're not going to go in depth in the book with that. But if you had 3 or 4 people, you could petition to partition. You could sell the property. There's a bunch of different ways to skin this cat, and that may be something that we bring up, especially if you run across it. Remember, with this program, we're doing a what do you call it? Boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
we haven't come up with not dollar, but time yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's included in the ebook. But when we set that up, that's a lot of you guys will have already gone through the program, started to put deals together, maybe run into something interesting, and it'd be something that'd be great for us to bring up in front of everybody.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great.
So I'm hoping you guys are going to really interact with us on that.
Mm-hmm. You want to go over the pricing and all the increase?
Yeah, we went up $50 already, guys. From the intro pricing, $197 to $247, $297 to $347. We're going up again tonight to.
It'll be $397 across the board. So if you're a pass buyer, there's no pass buyer discount. That we just ran that the 24-hour run.
Yep.
We do that every
time we do this.
You guys
know.
So that's going to be going at 10 p.m. So if you're a pass buyer and you still want to get a discount, then you could do that
up until 10.
Up till 10, and then at 10 it's going to be $397
for everybody.
For everybody.
And I don't know when we're going to switch it over to the $497 price at that point. Mm-hmm. But that's where we're going to be with that. We always do this with quick runs, guys. In fact, to be honest with you, we normally do just a minimum number at the very intro price. And last night we let it go further than we normally do, which is great. It's a great opportunity for y'all.
Yeah.
But believe me, those of you that got a hold of that, you did good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never let it run that long.
No.
Not at that kind of a price. We just don't. So I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that means a lot of you got involved that normally could not because of pricing issues in the past. We are, like any other program, we're going to share any successes you have, but we won't share your area. Okay. Right. In other words, like I know I mentioned some areas that people said here tonight, but when we throw in checks and do that type of thing, if you go on the Facebook account, you'll see that we always black out where it is from. Where we're gonna protect your little honey hole there.
Right.
All right, guys. Nice.
Any questions, guys? Ask away.
This is your shot because we're not going to go too long on this tonight. It's kind of a follow-up.
Yeah, follow-up. We were just getting a lot of questions, so we thought, hey, I know we kind of put it together the last minute, but I figure it's an easier way especially for you, to get a lot of questions out to folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I got to tell you what's interesting is something that was brought up last night. I didn't make the thing clear. I'm still literally going in and tweaking the book and adding things. And I didn't make something as clear as I thought I did, but because somebody brought it up as a question, now it's in there. Mm-hmm. So that really helped. Are you sending a recording of yesterday's webinar? We didn't record it, Yasmin.
Sorry, Yasmin.
So, guys, ask the questions now.
Yeah, ask them now. There's no recording.
There's no recording from yesterday. There's no follow-up on it?
Yeah, this will be recorded, but
hopefully.
No, it will be. This one will be recorded. Yesterday's, for whatever reason, we didn't hit the record. So
I had a little too much fun.
So basically, you know, if you want to ask questions, please ask them here.
Yeah, please get rolling on it.
Yeah.
Larry, this is a great question, Larry. I'm not going to say that. Hi, I live in North Carolina. I haven't purchased anything yet. What program do you think is best for me to start with? Hey, Larry, National's great.
Yeah. This FlipPro is great. I mean,
FlipPro's
pricing now. Here's the deal. I'd buy the FlipPro now because you're not going to get the pricing again at this low.
That's right. I mean, plus, you know what? If you bundle it, you can get traditional programs still right now.
Yeah.
Larry, get them. Get the traditional.
$347, I think, for first-time buyers.
So it'd be $447 or something. I don't know.
Sure
but check the pricing, Larry. Get that bundle. Pay the extra $100. Good Lord, you're going to be able to use it in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's first time.
Larry, what county?
First time is $347 and it's $447 with the bundle.
And the bundle has
traditional surplus funds, traditional deep flip, and elite inner circle.
Yeah.
Those books usually sell for $300 to $400 a piece, right?
Yeah. He's in Guilford County.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, Larry.
Hold on.
You're in our backyard, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, get National and get the bundle.
National's not in that bundle. You only get
I'm not National. I'm sorry. Get FlipPro.
Yeah.
It'll come out Monday, right?
Yeah.
Get FlipPro.
No. You gotta buy it now. Emails.
No,
Monday.
it'll come out to you on Monday.
Yeah.
It's available now. Get FlipPro with that add-on. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Can you give us a synopsis of the fix and flip course? What can we expect?
Okay, what I did, Yasmin, you're asking really good questions. What I did is I broke it down in different modules, okay? Now, the first two modules, it's actually the reason they're the first two is because it depends on how you're going to do this. If you're going to fix and flip and you need an investor, then you're going to start with Module 1. And the reason for that is Module 1 talks about getting and finding investors. I mean, literally, how to sit down with them, how to talk with them, what to point out, what the documents are you want to give them. You want to give them blanks to begin with so you know what you're dealing with, how to identify the ones that are real. Believe me, there are a lot of wannabe investors out there, right? Okay? There are a lot of people that say they're ready to go. Half my family says they want to invest in real estate.
Yeah,
and I throw deals at them, and they just scatter.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
You get the same thing. Yeah, I'd really like to get involved. And hey, I got one right here. Look at the time. Look at the time. And you run into that a lot, okay? So Module 1 is just working with investors, finding your funding. Module 2 is finding the property. The reason I bring it up like that is simple. If you're going to wholesale, you're going to skip number 1, okay? Because you're going to find the property right now, and then I've got ways for you to disseminate that, send that information out to get investors to come to you. So you've got those two modules. You also have a ton of video on this. You also have other modules as far as, you know, not only how to find it, how to fix it up. I mean, in depth. What are the most important things to fix in a house? Okay, everybody knows it's been in real estate any length of time. Kitchen and baths. Yeah. Okay, it's a no-brainer.
Kitchens,
especially. Yeah. Kitchen's number 1. Baths, you can okay,
clean up. You could clean up and do some really inexpensive kitchens sell house. I sold real estate for years, and especially now. I mean, especially, and we say it, but especially now, people want it.
They want a killer kitchen.
They want a nice kitchen.
Yeah, well, look at the flip.
In all price points. In all price points.
All of them. Yeah. I keep talking about Troy. He bought a condo, and I was his realtor on it. Literally in Pineville, North Carolina. I mean, it was worth $50,000. It had been smoked in. It was nasty. He had to rip the carpet up, and I even tell you how to do this. Kills the subfloor. Use the Kills paint on it because you got to get rid of that smell, right? And then do new pad, new carpet, all that. Did all that. Got the thing all ready to go. Put granite counter. Now the counters were as big as the table we're at now. That's it. Okay. It was like I don't know, 2.5 by 4 feet long. but it had a little area where you could put whatever you call it, stools underneath it, that type of thing. Lady came in, first buyer, came in, yanked me to the side and said, I want to buy this house. And we had it overpriced by about $8,000, which on a house like that, that's a lot, kind of like that. And I said, I don't know what he's going to take. You know, your first one in, we just put it on the market. We know it looks great. She gave full price, banged it right out. I asked her later why. And she said, all I could think about was sitting across from my girlfriends, drinking a cup of coffee or a wine on that granite.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think you could sell a house with it without granite or a quartz or anything like that now.
Yeah, or even now they're coming out with great man-made stuff.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, it used to be when we got into real estate, me in particular, we got in 04 and whatever, and granite was kind of an upgrade.
It was.
Now, I mean, it's standard. Like I don't know anybody who builds houses and doesn't put granite or a quartz or some kind of solid surface that's not Formica in houses anymore, because it's really not that big of a cost.
No, it's
not.
You
know what I mean? Because you could always get, because granite cost depends on the slab, and some of it's cheaper than others. So you could get away with a cheaper granite, and just don't put green in a house like some lady did on the lake. She put green granite in, and it was just awful. But anyways.
Yeah, but you can get away with a lot. Like you can get box cabinets at Lowe's, and you can put those together so they look
white
great.
White kitchens are in now.
Are they?
White kitchens, yep. White cabinets, bright and open.
And guys, I go into that a little bit, but there are a lot of regional differences, okay, where it's way different where you're at. For instance, if you live in the Fan in Richmond, okay, a neutral color outside is going to be orange, yellow, green, blue. I mean, it's different. The bottom line is resale follows new construction. If you want to know what to put into a resale property to fix and flip it, go to a model home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I mean, and it's all price points now, and builders are smart.
Yeah. You guys are asking great questions.
If
a judgment... Oh, hey, this is great, Donald. If a judgment is in another county than the foreclosure, in other words, where the house is located, I'm assuming, and the surplus funds, he's talking about national now, would you deal with that or ignore it? If the judgment, Donald, is in another county, it doesn't count.
Unless they record it in that county as well.
Correct. Unless they transcribe it or record it in the county where the house foreclosed.
Very rarely does that happen.
No one, when they do title work on a property that's located in Montgomery County, North Carolina, okay, they don't check to see if there's judgments against the guy in Iredale, surrounding counties.
Yeah.
It's that county. So if the judgment is against a person, we find that a lot in Colorado. If the judgment is against a person but in a different county, it doesn't count against the house. So therefore, it doesn't count against the surplus. Great question for national surplus.
Does the flip course also do well in Los Angeles County? It does well in any county.
Any county, yes. But I mean, you're talking about L.A. You're talking about a place that has 4 different courthouses because they need them to serve the population.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It'll work everywhere.
Yeah.
I should have said that. I'm in North Carolina. I'm saying things like hun. Oh, Sean, I love your stuff. Ultimately, what are we wholesaling? REOs, notes, probate. I just joined. Many thanks, as always, Peter. What you're wholesaling is property that's distressed. It's usually pre-foreclosure.
Right.
But it can be there's other things that it can be. But you're not selling REOs, good Lord, no. REOs are going to sell themselves, and the banks don't even, most of the time, this is my understanding, maybe Jeff can put some light on this, most of the time those REOs never make it to the market.
Yeah, sometimes.
They got third-party banks that are buying them. They got all kinds of crap. The hedge fund guys are on top of that stuff. So it's pre-foreclosure. It's very similar to the deed flip or the game changer, but really tight parameters, and it's designed where you're repackaging that property to get rid of it quick. Good question, Pete. Cheers. So are you saying FlipPro shows me a half dozen or more ways to find folks who are going to lose their property under varying circumstances that are going to be willing to give me a quick claim deed to get them however much I can get them and be sitting with a potentially great deal for an investor and make a tidy sum for myself, David? Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
There you go.
That's, David, do you need it? We need somebody, a writer, for our marketing.
All right, we're done, guys.
Yeah, hey. Y'all just get a hold of Dave.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly right. No charge. Thank you, Dave. What is an average monthly income a fully dedicated wholesaler should be able to make? The problem I got with that, Jabari, is I don't know where you are.
Yeah, it depends on the areas, what price points you're dealing with.
Like we talked last night, even if you're in a war zone, Metro Atlanta, good Lord, you're going to tear it up.
A war zone. What's a war zone?
If you're, yeah, that's a good question. Didn't they ask us that last night? What is a war zone? A war zone is Detroit. A war zone is parts of Chicago. A war zone is Memphis.
Parts of Memphis.
Parts of Memphis. The parts that we've bought in.
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's deals anyway.
We're selling them. We're still selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we made our money on the buy.
Yeah, we bought them really cheap and sold them really cheap. Got to undercut the market too.
Absolutely right.
When you sell it, because it's you know.
You do, and one of the things like we touched on earlier, for those that you missed it, one of the things we do is we help you determine time on the market and how long that should be versus competition that's currently on, what the inventory is, and if the inventory is higher, you want to actually take about 2.5% off the pricing you want to be to take for each month. You want to drop it down and sell it faster because you want to. But in wholesaling, guys, you're just flipping this to an investor and going, your problem.
Right.
You figure it out. And guys, for instance, Jabari, in that situation, you're in Metro Atlanta. Oh my God! I mean, they're all over the place. Well, you got Fulton, you got all those counties.
Yeah,
Cobb. Oh my! It's insane what you have to work with. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Metro. So, do you need Realty Track, TLO, or microbill? If you're going after pre-foreclosures, you know some of this stuff is going to cost you money. If you're going after pre-foreclosure for mortgages. Then yes, you would want to have something like a Realty Track or a local data provider.
Yeah, I mean.
But if you don't want to do that, don't go after that type of property.
If you, yeah, exactly. TLO microbill, no.
You really don't need those, guys. Pre-foreclosure, we'll find it even though we overkill it on our deed flips. Okay, we pull TLOs and microbills. We find the notification address with the tax guys is pretty darn dead on.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a microbill. If you already have it, it'll be an asset.
That's right.
But we're not saying you need to have it. You don't need TLO, though.
You don't. Whatever the notification address that the tax folks had for the property is usually, it's either correct or it's been correct recently. And another great trick, we've taught this in our surplus program, is you send mailing there, right? If it comes back, if the 40 order expired, it'll say 40 order expired, and then it'll give you the new address.
Right.
It's a great trick.
Will you putting out a replay of this webinar?
Yvette, we will.
Yeah.
Let me warn you guys about something, though, those of you guys that are on the fence. We're going to be popping up the price
10 p.m.
before the replay goes out. So we're really hoping to get a really good turnout to answer any and all questions you got, because if you miss it, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's probably this. No, I was checking to see if Judy had gotten back to us. What she hadn't. Will you be putting it? Oh, I could work in Detroit. I already know folks that have boatloads of property they're trying to sell and haven't been able to. So you believe FlipPro could show me how. David, if you're talking about investors, you don't want to buy stuff from investors.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're coming with this. Boatloads of property.
Unless they would ditch them to you for really cheap. But you
even then, all you're doing is passing a problem on.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about getting directly from the owner, not the guys that are already wholesaling. You can't wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Cool. Yeah. And that's going to be a common misconception. People go online and they see properties that are for sale and they think they're fairly cheap, and people are saying, oh, it's only 20% of value and da-da-da-da. And then they never back it out.
Yeah.
With any documentation. And they go, wow, I ought to get it from this guy. No, you want to go to owners, directly to owners, guys. That's where you're going to find the deal. Not through. If someone else is involved, they're eating the profit.
Right.
And that brings us to realtors. Okay, I'm a licensed real estate agent. Jeff is. In fact, he's the broker in charge of the firm. Guys, if you run into a situation, this was asked last night, where there's a realtor already involved trying to sell the property.
Yeah.
Usually, you want to go, I'll talk to the realtor. You say, look, I'm not going to pay you for this. I'm going to buy directly from the owner. I got, and I tell them this. I say, look, I'm a licensed agent. I know this things. I'll sign your listing agreement to list this thing for me when we flip it, if that's what we're going to do. But I'm not getting involved. If the seller wants to pay you out of whatever the heck I agree to pay them, that's where we're at. I don't want to step on your toes. And for me, it's actually more difficult for me to do that, because as an agent, I'm not supposed to do that. But I'm just going to call and be upfront with them and just go, I don't have the money to pay your commission on top of paying the owner. So what are we going to do? And they'll work something out. Look, when I get in touch with them, they're close to losing the property, and the realtor's going to make no commission.
Yeah.
They'll work something out.
Right.
I follow. Cool. Gotcha, Dave. I think we might be ready to. You want to wrap this thing up pretty soon?
Yeah, we'll give like 10 more minutes. And
yeah, any other questions? You guys had a great run there of fantastic questions.
Get a few more questions. We got some folks out there. I'm sure they have some questions.
Yeah, anything you got, guys. This is not the time for you to just sit on the sideline. Okay, and I know there's a lot of people that have been told. And nothing I want to say is, I know there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of money. That's the economy right now. And if you are, and I know this is going to sound crazy me saying this to you, but if it's going to put you out, like possibly you're not going to be able to make a car payment or buy food if you buy the program, and I get that. I get that a lot. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Get yourself financially set first, guys.
Yeah.
It's just not the right thing to do. You're not going to be able to work it right, because you're going to be, I've said this before, working out of desperation. You're never going to do it. Not right now. Okay. I know that sounds nuts, me saying don't buy, but I mean, wholesaling, no. Linda, it'll be in the book. What Linda's asking, just to confirm if doing wholesale, we start with Module 1. Actually, no, you'd skip Module 1 and come back to it, because Module 2 is identifying and how to target property and put that together. And then, of course, I think 3 is where I'm talking about negotiating with the owner. And it's really not a negotiation. It's great. I teach you how to do that to where there's no conflict. Everything's very full disclosure up front. And we don't get people yelling and screaming at us.
Right.
We really don't. We have some really good one-liners. One of the ones I brought up last night, where somebody said, well, that sounds like a great deal for you. Absolutely, sir. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. And, that short circuits it. Okay. Module 2, yeah. Recently was on a webinar where an attorney was saying assigning contracts wholesaling can be illegal. All right, Jabari, you must have missed last night. We are not assigning contracts. Everybody listen to me. We're not assigning contracts. You're getting ownership of the property with a quitclaim deed, okay? You do have a buy agreement. You can assign that if you want. You don't have to. You've got a quitclaim deed, so you have ownership. You're the owner. You can sell it, and then you can satisfy the agreement you had with the owner. Don't use assignable. Listen, I've been an agent forever. The last 5 years, whenever I saw a assignable contract, I just told my seller not to take it.
Yeah. He's also asking, is it true that it's illegal?
No. There's nothing illegal.
I don't think it's illegal about it either.
With assigning, but we don't do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But no, absolutely not. There's nothing. Guys, you got to understand something. Buying and selling property isn't surplus funds.
Yeah.
Okay? You're allowed to buy and sell your property.
You're getting a deed, a quitclaim deed. You own the property.
You're saying no warranty expressed or implied. You're just passing the property off.
That's it.
People do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what attorney that is, Jabari, but you're not the only one that said that.
Any freebie programs this round?
Nope. No freebies this round.
That was good, Bob.
Darn close. That bundle at $100 for what, $800, $1,000 for the programs? That's darn close.
Yeah, that's true.
But Jabari, I mean, Jabari, I hope you didn't take that the wrong way. I'm not trying to get on you.
I mean, he was in a webinar with a different, a different program.
Yeah, somebody else telling you to avoid that, the assignable.
We don't deal with it, but I don't know if it's illegal or not. I would have no idea.
You guys, also another thing that you're seeing is, you get the short sale guys getting into this kind of stuff, and they want to do A to B, B to C closings, and all that stuff, and that was great. There was a heck of a lot of money.
I've done those.
Yeah, he was involved.
Yeah.
You can't do that these days.
Yeah. And there we go.
Could you go into more detail on the quick claim deed works versus assignment? Aren't you creating title issues to the final owner? Hey, Ray, they're signing a quick claim to you so you own it.
Right.
It does not get any cleaner than that.
Yeah. As long as you do the deed correctly.
Yeah, you do the deed and you check the debt.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, quick claiming a deed doesn't erase debt.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Quick claim, it's a good point that you brought up yesterday, is the quick claim, you can still have debt in there. Know that the debt doesn't get erased or anything like that. So if they have a mortgage on the property, that mortgage is still on the property.
So we do teach you how to do that.
Right. You own it, but that mortgage company can still come in foreclose.
They can foreclose.
Yeah.
They foreclose against the property, not the person who
They
owns it.
can't come after you, though.
That's important.
Yeah.
The debt isn't your debt now. It's not like that
Right.
mortgage is suddenly in your name.
Right.
Okay.
They're not gonna put a deficiency on you.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get some bad mark against you, and there's no credit issues involved. You just own the house.
Right.
So you do subject to through a quick claim. Yeah, Ray, you can't get out of. I'm not making fun of you. You're trying to pigeonhole what I'm doing into what these other guys are doing. This subject to stuff and this assignment stuff. Absolutely not. I'm taking a quick claim. I'm making an agreement with the owner. Hey, if I'm going to take a quick claim, if I can get somebody to buy this property, I'll give you X amount of dollars after I close on it and do all that. I'm not sure I can get it. Here, sign the quick claim, and I'll take care of this.
Right.
There's no subject to. There's no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It just basically, here's what you'll get if I can sell it. I know that sounds like a subject to, but it's not, because he's giving you ownership.
Right.
And Ray, again, I'm not dogging. Everyone's having a hard time moving out of this comfort zone they
Right.
have.
Must be a lot of programs that do
There's
that.
a lot of stuff that does that. Yeah.
I wasn't aware. I really don't.
Oh, there's a
that.
ton of the assignment guys. There's a ton of the assignment guys. Ton of the subject to. Ton of the shorts. Oh, good lord. Do you use one standard form for the notary fill out and sign, or do you do a state-specific form for the notary? For the agreements, we've got some pretty standard stuff. Quick claim deeds, guys, are complete. That can vary state to state.
Yeah, you got to get them from the county.
The county you will usually give you an example,
Right.
and we're going to. It's in the book. It'll show you how to fill that out.
Right.
They're slightly different county to county, not county to county, state to state.
Correct.
Great question, Deb. Done. Okay, sorry, Ray. I hope that isn't okay. You're beating me up. So, owners have the right to deed their property to the home to whomever they want, regardless of debt obligations. Absolutely, David. And that's a hard thing for people to wrap their mind around. Ownership and debt are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
They exist completely separate from one another.
Correct.
The reason we are having a hard time with quick claim deed is, how can the seller agree to give a deed? They sign it, Albert. Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
a quick claim deed only has to be assigned. It's a quick claim deed. It's ownership.
Right.
It's not mortgage. It's nothing else.
Right.
Do me a favor,
We
guys.
do it every day.
We do, I mean, honest to God,
Yeah.
I write them up myself.
Right.
Do me a favor. Google quick claim deed blank form. Just see a gazillion of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty. It's a basic deed. It's the lowest level of the deed. Doesn't guarantee anything. You're not going to get clear title with a quick claim deed.
And only the person that has the property now, the grantor, only they have to sign it. I don't even have to sign it. I put my name on that. They're giving me the deed. They're quit claiming the deed to me. I put that in there. As soon as they sign it, we're done.
That's right.
Got it. Cool, Dave. Yeah, that's a tough one, Dave, to get past. I understand what a quick claim deed is. The question is, why would they do it? Because they're about to lose their property and they're going to get nothing.
Right.
So you can get a quick claim on a property that has zero equity. Why would I do that, Yasmin? And once you receive it, you're able to quick claim to the new buyer if fix and flip. Yasmin, if there's zero equity,
Yeah,
I'm assuming that we're on the same page. If you're saying there's $100,000 in debt and the property is worth $100,000, why would you get the quick claim
You
to that?
can do it, yes, but why would you do it?
Why would you do that?
Right.
No one's going to give you more than 100.
Yeah.
No. Unless you need a tax write-off.
That's true. Oh no, you're good.
Silly question. I know. Yeah, I'm not making fun. Please, please.
Yeah.
This is the place to do this, guys.
Yeah.
This is the place to do this. Yeah, which you're not following me on debt yet. One of the things you're going to do to target that property is going to look at what the debt is against it, guys. You're not going to get any property. You're going to look and see what the debt is. We're going to teach you how to do that. And it's not hard to do. And you don't have to check judgments anymore. You're going to look for IRS tax and stuff like that, okay? But we teach you how to do that, and it's easy. And you can do it at the county. But yeah, you're not going to take property that's underwater, good Lord.
Right.
Albert, I understand it has to be a very distressed, but not a very distressed property, Albert. If they're not living in it, they don't have anything to do with it, such as those that are losing property to tax sale, foreclosure. Albert, it's more than that. Listen, I had a guy, Jeff, I'm being honest as can be, about a property in Tennessee. The property came, I wrote the deed up wrong. Right. It was to the heirs. I wrote it up, I was including the property the house was on, plus an extra 10 acres next door. Guy calls Judy, our main negotiator, after he gets it, goes, hey, this includes the property next door. I wasn't planning on selling you that. It's a commercial piece. It's probably never going to sell, but I wasn't planning on including that. And Judy said, I'm sorry. We'll rewrite the deed. We really weren't trying to get anything over on you. I screwed up, guys. I screwed up. I used a deed before they had already broken it into 2 parcels. Okay? The guy says, you know what? I don't want to deal with it. We'll just throw it in. Okay, I had 3 heirs. I had to pay out $1,500 a piece for that property. $4,500. I got the house on 1 piece of property, and I got 10 acres next door.
Right.
Okay, because everybody thinks, oh, it's got to be super distressed. Oh my gosh, it's got to be this. It's got to be that. Sometimes guys just give up.
Yeah. I mean, I would advise buying a burnt down house. I mean, what super distress are we talking about? I mean.
Yeah. What do we? Yeah. Well, and one of the things I tell you, certain houses, you value it as a tear down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do. Yeah. It depends on the market too. Some markets you can tear down and put in a double wide.
Yeah. Okay. Look, the lot's worth 50. The owner doesn't have the money to do that. He's getting code enforcement starting to get a hold of him. Say, you need to do something about this, or we're going to start dinging you. All this stuff. Hey, you give the guy $5,000, or your investor, right? You take 10 grand to clear the thing off, and you got a $50,000 property. Are you kidding me? I do that all day, all day. What is the Fed tax rate on profit from a flip? I don't pay any, Don. Let me tell you why. It's the speed with which you're doing it. This is not an. I don't occupy it. Now you're gonna have to talk to your accountant,
right?
Okay. But in certain states, I buy them in the company name. There's 1 or 2 states I don't. You know why? I don't feel like paying $1,000 to register with that particular state. I'm not currently doing a whole lot of deals there, so I'm buying it in my personal name. My accountant has no issue with that because the time period that it's on, it's not a capital gains issue. This is not a second property for me. This is not a, whatever you want to call it. It is non-owner occupied. I never step foot in the property.
Basically income tax.
It's regular tax.
Yeah, regular, whatever your income tax bracket you're in.
Yep.
Right.
I know. Okay.
Now we're good.
Sounds like a great idea to get a quick claim deed since an assignment requires intent and capacity. Well, that's a good point, Albert, but so does a quick claim. Well, it requires capacity. You have to have the. Yeah, you don't have to have intent. Yeah. But it requires capacity. One of the things we do, guys, regardless of what program it is, if it's this or if it's the surplus, I do ask the notaries to get a copy of at least a driver's license. I prefer to get a copy of the driver's license and the Social Security card, but I'll take a driver's license because it's just one more. If anybody in the future was to say, oh, I'm the real owner, not that guy, well, I've got his driver's license now. Okay, so I can prove that we were talking to the right guy. Profit is considered ordinary income. It depends on how you do it, Albert. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, guys, about how to set up your. It depends on how you do. I have a subchapter as corporation, so that's a different animal to me, as far as how that ordinary income is reported. So are you going after pre-foreclosure or foreclosures that are slated to be up for auction and have a scheduled date already assigned? Great. Yvette, absolutely fantastic question. Yeah, I wouldn't go after stuff that doesn't have a date. I wouldn't. Now, that brings us to in the future, we're going to be bringing up, just so you guys know, in January, Game Changer 2, and we're going to have it. We're only going after stuff with a drop dead date.
Yep.
It's very important.
Drop dead dates are easier to work.
Way easy. People don't have a sense of urgency unless there's an actual foreclosure date set.
Yeah, and it's easier to follow up when you know there's a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, just so you know, because some of the questions have been slanted in such a way, and that's not a negative thing, have been slanted in such a way where it's almost like you're afraid to ask me direct questions about certain things because you're afraid that I'm in the gray area, or I don't use full disclosure, or I'm lying to these owners. And we don't do that.
No.
We don't. We're very upfront. I actually give them a breakdown of what I think I'm going to make.
Right.
Now, is it worst case? Yeah. But I mean, most of the times it's 4 or 5 times what I'm agreeing to pay them, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very upfront. I think we're okay.
Any more questions? We're going to be wrapping it up in the next couple minutes to get it done by 9.
Yep.
So if you have any more questions, ask them now. Is that one coming?
Yeah, Yasmin. Will you teach us which properties to market to? Yes. And what letters to send? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do we usually receive a lot of leads that way? Actually, Yasmin, you do, but because it's distressed property, these people kind of want to be found. I lean toward a combination of mailing and calls. I have known people that do this exact. Thank you, David. I have known people that do this exact same thing that have been extremely successful knocking on doors. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people don't want to do that, and I respect that. You don't want to go out and knock on the door. I get that. But I know people that tear it up doing it.
If you're able to do that,
you will crush it.
Awesome.
Absolutely
awesome.
Crush it.
Yeah. If you're good, if that's what you're good
Yeah,
at.
if you're good, people like you.
Mm. People like you.
If people don't like you, send a letter. Or call them.
All right, anything in closing?
Think
Just,
so.
if you're wondering where to go, surplusfundsriches.com. Click on the products tab.
Yep.
And the buy section's there, and overviews of all the programs that we're offering.
Yeah, and guys, there's a couple more questions that just dinged in, and we'll answer them real quick. But Jeff was on it. I didn't interrupt you, Jeff. Yeah, go there, guys, and take advantage of that.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock tonight, we're changing the pricing again.
Yeah.
Okay? So don't screw around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And the first time, and the past buyer discount's going to be over.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be no difference between cost of past and a new. Okay. What do you look for knocking on doors, David? A couple things real quick. Same thing as anything else as we do the mailings. It's the same type of property. Knocking on doors is a different situation. For instance, I go into, I mean, I literally, guys, this thing is insane what in depth. If it's something you're willing to do, go to doors, you always wave on the way up, right? Wave on the way up. You always knock and you back way up off of that door, and you smile like crazy. But it's the same property, David, as any other property as far as the door knocking. It's just you're going to have a heck of a larger conversion rate. They can't dodge you on the phone, okay? They can't throw your letter away because you're in front of them. All right. What program do you recommend for first-time buyers not know much about real estate? What do you think, Jeff? National?
National.
Get national. Get national.
Yeah.
Scott, get national. And I get that right away. And also get
Gold Mine too is good.
yeah, but I don't think we're off it. Get national. We are. We are.
Right now we are.
That's right.
Yeah, right now on the products page, whatever's there is there. We got a lot of stuff on there that probably a lot of it will be taken off. National will stay on there.
Yeah, but you can add on.
You can add on
other programs for a reduced rate because you bought the first one.
Correct.
So what he was saying, national, and then is bankruptcy even on there?
Yeah, it's on there now.
Bankruptcy gold mine is an option. Get that as a second option. That's a full from home, easy to do. And guys, scroll down on that products page. There's videos on every single program.
Yeah, there's links to videos. So if you don't see the video, not embedded, but there's a link to it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, guys.
Stop recording. Is that how we do it instead?